Hello to all. This is William G. Sly. And yes, of course, you know that I'm enrolled in Full Sail. So, portfolio competency self reflection is what I am broadcasting about today. And there are about four questions that Full Sail put together in order for me to relate or show my relation and how I grown with the course subject matter. So the first question says, what did you expect the creative presentation course? What did I expect from it? So they want to know what I expected from the course. Well, I expected to become a master at doing presentations in a way where it's not death by PowerPoint. And it says, did this class meet your expectations? And explain your answer. And yes, the class did meet my expectations. I mean, the class practically ran itself relative to the format in which it was created. I mean, you actually didn't even need a teacher for how this class was put together. I guess there's a state requirement that there has to be a human being involved. But you guys did so well. It was no way that I would not be able to flourish. So the answer to my question, yes, it met my expectations. Now I know how to do PowerPoint without death by PowerPoint. And though I'm a Mac guy, we use Keynote. And I am a screenplay writer. So when I found out that one of the most effective ways to do this was by telling a story about the gathered information, and then I was able to go deeper and study with this course on some of the techniques on visuals and sound and voice tone and how to gather the proper information and how to figure out who my audience is and everything else. Oh, yes, 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 yes. It definitely met my expectations. It also asks, what is your biggest takeaway from this course? My biggest takeaway is I actually had fun. I had fun taking the time to use storytelling in a whole different way. And some of the examples I was able to come across were brilliant. You chose an awesome way to express the desired outcome of a presentation, especially by the PowerPoint or the Keynote tool. So that was awesome. I really enjoyed that. That was my takeaway. I learned so much more about presenting, and it was pretty cool. It also asks, how well have you met the requirements of the class? Now, I feel that I met the requirements pretty good. I do understand, just like any other production, that there are first, second, and third drafts that may have to happen before you get to the outcome you wish. The time that I had to focus on that, because I'm really deep about what I like to put out, I would have to pace myself in the future to work on something like that a little earlier prior to the time that I have to get it to my audience's eyes and ears because I am pretty deep with what I do when I do it. So I definitely know that my biggest takeaway is I had a ball, but I need to give myself ample time to create the presentation if I'm definitely going to use video, audio, and things to that effect. It says also, how well have you met the requirements of the class? And it says, what are you especially proud of? Well, I'm proud that I was able to survive through the hustle of creating the presentation. Not understanding it the way I do movies and videos, it was a little challenging at first. So I'm proud of the fact that I got over that hurdle. when I self-reflect on this, I got over that hurdle. It also states in this three-part question, what would you do differently if you could start the class over? Well, knowing what I know now, I would do just about everything differently. But the class is the reason why I know what I know now. So that's kind of like hindsight is 2020. If I knew what I know now, I would do just about everything differently. I would gather my information differently. I would get to the story a little sooner. My dissemination would be handled in a whole complete different way. Things like that. So that is what I possibly would do differently. And last but not least, how do you think the skill you learned in this class will help you in your remaining classes and in achieving your ultimate goals? Well, I think the skills that I learned will allow me to communicate other work better, especially if it's like an essay or what have you. Now I am looking to be more creative in all of my kinds of communications. So if I have an essay, I'm going to be more creative in the way that I express myself in the essay. This class have opened up a whole new window of thought when it comes to communication. So definitely, I do think that I would do that. And my ultimate goal is to be a master at this. So after this class, I'm going to continue to work on presentations, even possibly as a means of communicating with my clients that I have now. Short presentations and things like that, I think would be a brilliant way to dazzle a client, a future client, or even re-engage old clients. I believe the presentation scenario is an ultimate tool. So we're barking on almost 8 minutes of me jabberjawing over here. I hope I was able to answer your questions in a meaningful way. And I know this is semi-informal, so I wanted to make sure I played the part of a student and put on a hoodie or something, cool like that. But in the meantime, there are my answers. Full sail, stand up, have a good day. Bye.